see what Mr. Cohen's got to say.
What's up, everybody? It's David Bailey from BTC
Bailey?
Inc., and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Cohen from
That's what they call him.
GameStop. What's up, Ryan?
What's up?
It's got
How
the
are
classic hoodie on, of course.
Doing well, man. I'm enjoying these Bitcoin prices. How about you?
ya? It's all good.
I thought casual Ryan
let's get
is
started.
too.
We're talking innovative corporate strategies. We're talking pioneering new paths. You turned GameStop around from a dying business to a thriving business. How'd you do it?
When I took over, the company was a piece of crap and losing a lot of money. The company was under a lot of pressure, moving from physical games to digital downloads. So you had to cut costs. You had to cut costs very aggressively and bring in fiscal discipline. And we did. And retail is a tough business, but it was a big focus on getting costs under control. You've got a lot of macro headwinds going against the company. You have a move from physical games to digital downloads.
Sure.
And we needed to get the costs under control, and also shift the business from being so reliant on video games to collectibles, which we've done. And so now there's a big focus on trading cards. We're doing grading in a...
Okay, so right away he touches on cost cutting and how the business was extremely inefficient prior to his arrival at GameStop, right? And just irresponsibility in terms of how they were running up things and just trying to overextend on the idea of video games when it was very clear they needed to shift, right? Which I think has been pretty widely known at this point, but really just touching on it and clarifying that. And I think it kind of leads to like how he's trying to lead to how the company got to where they are today.
A bunch of stores, and we're selling a lot of trading cards, both in sports and TCG.
I personally focus
The
on
company
sports.
today is profitable in the U.S. and
Notice how he says profitable in the U.S. He specifies that there because we know they just sold off the Canadian business. They're getting ready to sell off the French business. And just in him saying that and the priority of profitability just makes me think, any remaining business worldwide is ultimately being wound down at this given moment in time.
we've gotten our costs under control. You had a lot of executives and directors that were very short-sighted, and effectively they were making decisions that were what they call in corporate America in good corporate governance, which is effectively screwing shareholders. So we got rid of all of that nonsense and we focused on running the business profitably.
Well, you also made some news about, a month ago or so, that you raised some money that you might use to buy Bitcoin.
So we know this was definitely pre-recorded because they had filed it that morning, and then the recording came out, which makes sense because I feel like, had they let this come out and then they did the filing after, there's gonna be some baloney lawsuit like, oh, they were, he said it before it was filed, he said it on the conference, right? So they probably filed it that morning knowing that this was gonna be shown at the conference. That's my thought, at least. But when exactly they bought, there's still no official determination, right? But we're probably gonna get more information. Not probably, we will get more information in the earnings report a couple weeks from now.
I guess the $1 million question that everyone wants to know is, has GameStop bought Bitcoin?
We have bought Bitcoin.
Ooh. Okay, how much?
We currently own 4,710 Bitcoins.
So currently have 4,710 Bitcoins. So notice how we said currently have, right? That's interesting. It's like, did they have more and then they sold some? Did they buy more, right? Marantz was mentioning this in a video I saw of his. Did they buy more since then, right? Do they plan to accumulate more, right? That's what that seems to kind of hint at to me. He's not like we have, right? He's like, we currently have. Using the word currently was a good pickup on Marantz's part. And also I saw a couple other people saying it too. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think he just threw that in there just cause. It's possible, right? But I feel like it's indication, that, in my opinion, that they're going to buy more Bitcoin as time goes on.
Let's go. Let's go.
go.
So tell us about that. Why did GameStop decide to buy Bitcoin?
It was, if the thesis is correct, then Bitcoin and gold as well can be a hedge against global currency devaluation and systemic risk. Bitcoin has certain unique advantages compared to gold. The portability aspect of it, it's instantly transferable across the globe, whereas gold is bulky and very expensive to ship. The authenticity, it's instantly verified via the blockchain. The storage, you can easily secure Bitcoin in a wallet, whereas gold requires insurance and it's very expensive. There's the scarcity element of it as well. There's a fixed supply of Bitcoin, whereas with gold, certain technological advances, the supply of gold is still uncertain. And then ultimately, there's the asymmetric upside. Gold.
So he's just said things right there that Bitcoiners have been saying for years. So you could say that he's taken the orange pill, I would say at least, right? Based on just the way he described it right there. When people say, well, why would you not just own gold? The average Bitcoiner would say something to that extent, right? And we'll go back a little bit here because the next part's pretty important too.
Ultimately, there's the asymmetric upside. Gold is a more mature market. It's roughly around 20 trillion of market capitalization, whereas Bitcoin today is about 2 trillion. And if the thesis is correct, then ultimately Bitcoin becomes digital gold, adopted, then there's more upside. But we'll see what happens. Nobody has a crystal ball.
Exactly. I love what he said right there. Look at that face I paused on. I didn't mean to do that, but it's true because while I am very bullish on Bitcoin, and evidently GameStop is bullish on Bitcoin now as well, nobody truly knows what's going to happen, right? But I totally agree with what he's saying there, that there is so much more upside. It's 1/10 the size of the gold market at this given point in time. And ultimately, I think, when you hear people still dismissing Bitcoin, oh, it's just magic internet money, and just, oh, yeah, I don't want to be bothered with that, right? It tells me, honestly, that we're still early because there's no one that really says, like, oh, gold is, like, fake, gold is nonsense, right? So I feel like once Bitcoin gets to the same level as gold in terms of market capitalization, that's where it would kind of be at the point where it's kind of worldwide accepted by the average individual worldwide, right? Like, not to say there's still going to be some people who are like, I'm not owning Bitcoin, I don't want any of that. Just like there's some people right now who are like, I don't want gold, I don't want any of that. But if you think that about gold, people who think that about gold probably aren't saying, oh yeah, gold is totally worthless. But at this point in time, some people are still saying, oh, Bitcoin's totally worthless, right? And I think that's where that's disconnect at this given point in time. But they're both underlying idea is to hold value, right? Think about it. The gold standard that was, signed away and really kind of started this whole mess was that dollars were backed by gold in the Federal Reserve way long ago, right? Many, many years ago. And ever since then, the snowball has just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we've been well over 100% debt to GDP. And here where we are today.
But that's the current thesis.
Well, congratulations. And I feel like GameStop is the ultimate meme stock and Bitcoin is the ultimate meme money. And if you combine the two, you get a meme super cycle. So, and
I heard some people saying about, like, oh, he called GameStop a meme stock to his face, but he also called Bitcoin like meme money, right? I don't think he was saying it with any ill intent. I think this guy is just very, just general individual, like, if that makes sense. But like, I don't think he was saying that with ill intent, because I saw some people saying like, oh, why would he say that? And it's like, I think he's just saying it casually, right? He's not saying like, ha ha ha, meme stock, right? I think he's just saying, like, yeah, a lot of people make memes about it, talk about it, consider it to be that, right? But people consider Bitcoin to be that too, right? So I don't think it's a big deal.
What's next for GameStop and Bitcoin? Are you going to buy more Bitcoin? Is this the next micro strategy, the next Meta Planet, or even better?
We're not going to call our shots in advance.
Very Ryan Cohen like, and GameStop like. I'm not surprised at all to hear that. They just, since the beginning, right, of Ryan Cohen being involved in GameStop and the new board taking over, there's been no point in time where like, hey, we're going to do this. It's always been like, hey, look what we've been working on. All right, here it is, right? Just like the investment policy. Or we saw he took a picture of Michael Saylor, then it's like, oh, investment policy says we can buy Bitcoin. And now they bought Bitcoin, right? And it's, oh, we're going to buy Bitcoin in this fashion. So I think also, part of it is too, the board, Ryan Cohen, Larry Chang, Groob, right? All those guys are not, maybe not Nat Turner with the Bitcoin aspect. He's focused on the collectible side, right? But it's great to have him on board and really, continue to build that relationship with PSA. I think that's a great thing. And that's how they can really build that collectible business. But I think the board is still determining, like, what's our best method of continuing to acquire Bitcoin? Because, again, I believe they're planning to continue to accumulate Bitcoin, but they're not just going to push all the chips in, raise another 0% convertible note, 2 billion, 1 billion, 3 billion, whatever it is, push it all in again, raise another note, right? I don't think they're going to, rush it. I think they're going to slowly build into it, but just like they're slowly building into their relationship with PSA. And whatever else may be potentially next, right? But doors open on that for discussion.
For obvious reasons, but
I think we all know the obvious reasons.
GameStop is following GameStop's strategy. We're not following anyone else's strategy.
Okay. So to summarize,
this guy is low-key like, what? Okay, what the hell does that mean? But I like that, right? GameStop should follow their own strategy. You got to be a leader, right? You don't want to be a follower. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
embrace the GameStop theory. I like it. So final question. The world is watching right now. Everyone at the conference is watching this interview. We probably have 10 million, 50 million people on the live stream. What is the message you'd like to send the global Bitcoin community and everyone who's watching this interview right now?
No pressure. No pressure. Don't follow GameStop. Make your own decisions independently. It's my message. Just do whatever you're comfortable with.
Don't trust, verify. Let's go.
Love
Well,
that.
Ryan, thank you for hopping on. Congratulations on your Bitcoin buy.
And
to many more. Let's go. Thank you.
YOLO.
YOLO.
YOLO. I think he's just having fun there, honestly. It does make me laugh, right? People go so deep into, like, he's wearing the same sweatshirt, he said YOLO, and this and that, and, like, I don't know. For me at this point, I'm so tinfoiled out. Like, there's nothing wrong with speculating and doing the tinfoil, right? But, like, for me, I just, like, go based upon what GameStop says. I always purely go based upon what GameStop says and try and draw conclusions from that. I never want to speculate on his sweatshirt, like the word that he specifically said. I just want to try and theorize like how they're going about things and cover the story as the information comes out from GameStop, whether it be from earnings reports or a filing that they bought Bitcoin. And that's just my approach. There's plenty of other people out there speculating. If you like a little speculation, believe me, there's other people out there speculating, right? But those are my thoughts.